how do you stay on top of customer priorities and what people are asking?
Yeah. So for us, priority. So there are two things, like priority on like getting the insight, getting the request and which one to prioritize, but also priority in terms of what to bring back to our partners to show what is the priority for the business to work on. So which I think in both cases, kind of the same approach. We look at impact of like a customer experience issue that we find, or look at the impact of the insights that we're trying to create. And we measure impact based on two things. One is severity of the issue, and the other one is the prevalence of the issue. So when we are prioritizing our customer experience issues and which one to address first and which one to bring to our partners, we look at which one has like highest impacts on our customers, like looking at how many customers are going to get impacted by it, and then how bad it is. And we usually measure it by our experiential metrics such as NPS and customer satisfaction, just to tell us how bad and how severe is the issue. But we also measure, like, quantify how many customers are going to be impacted by it. And eventually, like, I think that the challenge is when we get insights from multiple different channels, how do we prioritize? Because like it's more simpler that if you just see an issue coming up in one specific channel, let's say it's just within support, then you can quantify it easily. But like it's another level of prioritization or like weighting of that issue when you see that is coming up across multiple channels, or when it shows up in one channel and kind of trickle down to other channels. Like it shows up in purchase experience, for example, but it also impacts customer experience on support or other areas of the business. So that's another factor. We take that into consideration, that how many channels it also impacts and where it's showing up. If it's showing up in product reviews, if it's showing up in social media, then it's more important because it seems like people are more vocal about it. So we have to react to it faster.
That is fascinating because for a lot of reasons. But when you think about the measuring it with NPS or something like that, do you look at like the difference between the NPS score of people who are writing in with an issue and what like the average NPS is, or kind of how do you take an NPS score and use that to identify how severe an issue is?
It's a quad map type of, problem solving, that you look at the ones with lower NPS and higher volume. So combination of the two is how we measure impact.